Before we get started today, for all you so-called spades players, remember April 10th, the Know It All Spades Tournament. $100 per team. We got cash prizes for the winners. I always have people inboxing me or talking to me and stuff at the barbershop or just around how good they are at spades. Now's your time to show us what you good at. A lot of y'all, I think y'all just woofing. I'm talking to you, Will, my softball brother. I'm talking to you, Ed. I think people just blowing hot smoke, as they say. So if you want to come get this smoke on this spades, inbox me, text me, call me. And space is still available. The Know It All Spades Tournament coming April 10th. So on that note, as you can see, we in a baseball mood today. They canceled. I ain't gonna say canceled. They settled the strike. So baseball is back home. For me, it probably was the first sport. It is the first sport I love. So before we start the show and preview this upcoming season, me and the big fella gonna talk about what player or team made us fall in love with baseball. So I'm gonna let Ralph go first. Which player and which team made you fall in love with baseball?
Well, being from the south side of Chicago, it's always going to be the Chicago White Sox. All day, every day. Team, grandfather, father, everybody love the White Sox in my family. So it's always been about the White Sox. It's always going to be about the White Sox for my favorite team ever. When it come down to players, I think the players have a lot to do with liking certain teams as well. So mine, being a White Sox fan, was always Big Frank. Being his size, being 6'4", 6'5", being about 240, 50 or whatever at that time when he first came around. I ain't never seen a baseball player around that size, being that big and all that, especially since I'm around the same size as him as well when I was growing up. So that's what really made me love baseball, was seeing somebody that was my size and being black that played baseball and was dominant at that. I mean, of course, there was players in the 70s like Dave Winfield and all those who were big players and tall and, muscular and all like Big Frank. But Big Frank was the one for me. So, but also, got to throw my boy Ken Griffey Jr. out there, because if it wasn't for him too, that's why I like baseball as well, because of them too. But mainly Big Frank, but Ken Griffey, because he brought the swag to the game.
Okay, I feel you. Well, for me, it's a more personal aspect. My favorite, the team that made me like baseball was the '83 Sox. That's why I got my hat on. Harold Baines was probably my first favorite player. I just like that whole team. Greg Luzinski, Ron Kittle, Carlton Fisk. That was my first time loving any sport, and basically as a because of my dad, actually. I got a funny story. I shared a lot with people. I went to a game in '83 and saw the Sox. Me, my dad, and granddad. And my dad didn't want to take me because he knew I was going to ask for some food. I was going to want to go home. So we see the game, the Sox lose, and get to the 7th inning. I'm begging for a hot dog. My dad like, nope, you gonna eat, you don't wanna go home. My granddad, get the boy a hot dog, get Get a hot dog, next inning, 8th inning, did him ready to go home. Bugging my dad. My dad is one of them, if he go to the game, he stands the whole game. He gonna get all his money's worth. So I bugged him to go home. Sox was losing. My granddaddy bugged him, we left. Get on the train at 35th, you had fireworks, explosions. My dad looked at me. So the train didn't come, so the fans coming out yelling and screaming. My dad like, what happened? They tell him, man, Rudy Law hit a grand slam, bottom of the ninth, Sox win. My dad was pissed. If he could have. He would have choked me like Bart Simpson, like Homer did Bart. My dad was so pissed. My dad looked at me and was like, I will never take you to another baseball game. And the funny part about that, he never did. Next time me and my dad went to a game, I took him and knew Comiskey. So even though for him, he couldn't stand it, but for me, it made me like the Sox. It made me want to play baseball strictly because of my dad. So that's my story. And on that note, we're going to start the show. Welcome everybody, Talking Sports with the Know-It-Alls. As you know, I'm Jimmy, aka the Know-It-All. I got my boy Big Lurch, Big Ralph here today. We're gonna talk baseball. We're gonna talk about this season coming up. Baseball finally here. Before we start the show, as you guys can see, we don't have Ant with us this week, and I'm gonna tell you why.
This is best thing.
Ant is a major baseball fan, but he's still trying to live his baseball dream. So bootleg Frank Robinson, good luck, man. He got a lot of baseball working out to do, so he ain't gonna make this show, but he'll be back on further shows. So we thinking about you, Frank. Bootleg Frank Robinson.
Ray Durham stands.
Right, Ray Durham. So we're gonna start the show. This baseball season is shaping up to be one of the more interesting seasons. They done had a lot of rule changes. So we're gonna start off first. We're gonna even get to the rule changes. We're gonna get to the teams. So since Ant not here, the first team we're gonna talk about is the team I hate more than probably any team in sports.
Probably more than Scottie Pippen.
No, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. They about neck and neck. Chicago Cubs.
Scrubs.
So they made a lot of moves. They got some pitching and stuff. So how do you think they're gonna do this year, Ralph? Speechless. Said, there's nothing else to say.
The Scrubs, boy, I tell you, for all you Northsiders, I hope they keep y'all getting drunk because y'all gonna need it this year. They do not have nothing. Like, even though I give them credit, they did sign the Japanese guy. He actually is a good player, but as far as that, I mean, you still got Contreras, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Like, they don't really have too much pitching. I mean, they just signed Drew Smiley yesterday, but I don't know. I think, and then they play in one of the tougher divisions, playing in the NL Central. So them Cardinals are always tough. The Brewers gonna be tough. So the Reds were tough, but it seems like they selling everybody again. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough, and I feel bad for David Ross because I actually like David Ross as a coach, and I like them as a player. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the Rickies doing up there, but it's tough times coming.
Let me pull this mic a little close to me. Ralph is being political for the show. I'm not. They're going to be trash. They're going to be garbage. I love every minute of it. I'm just as petty. I want them to lose 100 games. I think they may lose 100 games.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
So, Larry, Wayne Morgan.
Definitely.
Who else? Ant. My cousins who like the Cubs. All my Bell cousins. BK, Micey, Tasha. I'm telling all y'all, I'm loving every game. I'm going to have a meme for every loss. So, I'm glad they struggling because, I forgot about Tremaine. My boy Tremaine Ely. You a Cubs fan too. Coming for you too. Laughing at you too.
Don't forget about Marcus, who was on the last episode. Sorry, Cubs fan.
So all Cub fans I know, everybody, even the people who go, I'm from Chicago. I root for both teams. Yeah, whatever. Root for the Cubs this year. We don't want you on the Sox. Root for the Cubs. Like I say, I think they're going to be trash. I think they're going to be garbage. And I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving that they suck. Ralph feels sorry for the coach. I don't. He shouldn't have took the job. So you got to go down with the ship. So, boo-hoo Cubs, so what? So on that note, we're going to talk about the NL, period. We got a lot of good teams. I'm intrigued by the world champs, the Braves. They lost Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers. We'll get to them later. What do you think about they get Acuna back, don't they?
Yeah.
So they get him back. It may soften the blow from losing Freeman. I'll go first about the Braves. They're young, but I think they hit lightning in the bottle last year. I think they're gonna fall back to the pack this year. I don't think they're gonna repeat. They may struggle. They one of them teams that it could go either way. They could still stay contender, or they could struggle. So I'm gonna take middle of the pack. I think they're gonna fight for the wild card, but almost everybody can make the wild card.
Yeah.
So they may get I give them a wild card. I give them that much. I know one thing, they'll be better than the Cubs.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm gonna give them a wild card. I'm gonna get a world champ, defending champs, the wild card. What you think about the Braves, Ralph?
I've actually always been a fan of the Braves, more so back in the '90s when they had the three-headed monsters with Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine. But now I don't really think Freddie Freeman's gonna really hurt them much because they just got the kid from Oakland, and statistically he's better and he's younger. So I mean, yeah, he got an awkward batting stance and all, but who cares? Still put the ball in play. Bringing back Acuna, getting back Acuna, not bringing it back, getting Acuna back later on will definitely help them as well. And then they're solid defensively, and they just know how to manage runs. And it also helps, too, that the NL has the universal DH now. So, that brings them another bat, whoever they end up signing, whoever they end up putting as their DH. So, I think they'll be okay. Last year, like you said, they pretty much got lucky. Like, it was lightning in a bottle for them for real. Like, they literally came out of nowhere. Even though they sat around 500 most of the year, but then they just caught fire. And like any sport, the team that catches fire right before the playoffs is the most dangerous team now. So I think they'll be all right. Freddie Freeman, is going to hurt them. That was one of their longest standing players, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be that bad of a blow. Especially, I think what's the guy named Olsen? I think it's the guy they got from Oakland. So they'll be all right. They'll be all right. Especially they play in the NL East. I mean, if the Mets, don't get me wrong, I like the Mets. But you got, the Florida Marlins. And
the Mets is one of them teams.
But you just got Scherzer, though.
You always think the Mets are going to flip that switch, and they never. They remind me almost of Oakland or how Minnesota used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
You always thought they was going to turn the corner.
And just couldn't get over that hump.
Just something couldn't get them over. So that's how I'm always going to look at the Mets. On paper, they always going to look better than what they actually do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I forgot the Phillies. The Phillies
the same. They spend money, and they're another team.
They spend money, but they ain't by no pitching, though.
On paper, they have talent, too. But like I say, so many teams can make the wild card.
Yeah.
But to actually do something in the playoffs, I don't think they're going to do nothing.
Well, I think if they made it, because you got experience with Schwarber over there now, Bryce Harper. All of them have been in the playoffs. Schwarber got a ring, and they just got Castellanos. So,
their lineup going to be
they're gonna be deadly, but we all know what wins the game, though, is pitching. And that they don't really have a good amount of it. I mean, they're okay, but not the great. But, like I said, you play in the NL East, where 3 out of the 4 teams are really good. And all with the Mets, them, and the Braves being the champs. In Florida, they, for some reason, always seems to stick around long enough until the playoff time comes.
Pipeline.
Yeah.
The division I'm most intrigued by is the NL West. You know, with the Dodgers, Padres, and you really don't know what the Giants gonna do with their payroll. They got the money to sign people, but they really didn't splash. Um, I like the Dodgers. I don't know what it is about the Dodgers. Maybe because they just spend that bread that I like them. But they got Mookie. I like Mookie.
Yankees of the West.
I like Mookie Betts. And I like Kershaw, even though he's breaking down and getting old.
Yeah.
I rock some Kershaw.
Kershaw only a regular season pitcher though.
Oh, he the pneumatic.
Trash bag
He
in
the
the playoffs.
San Diego,
Overrated.
they stay hurt. They stay hurt. Tatis hurt now.
Play too much.
They can't get over that hump. So, like I say, it's the Dodgers, then everybody else. Which later on we'll talk about the World Series, but you know that's my squad, the Dodgers. So, what you think about the NL West?
Truthfully, in the NL West, it's a 2-team race. The Dodgers and the Padres. The Padres get it together. I mean, look at them last year. They started off hot, killing everybody. Tatis had one of probably the better first halves that we've seen in a long time. Then what happens? He want to start acting crazy. He want to go out there and start playing around. Like, that's why he out now, riding motorcycles and all that. Come on, man. I know you're young, but you got to get it together, bro. Hosmer, whatever. They need a little bit of pitching, too. But I like that they changed their coach around, like, because that debacle they had last year was ridiculous. So I'm glad they got a new coach out there. Also, you know, a team we never really talk about in the NL West is the Diamondbacks. You know, they're a team
they get young talent, but I ain't ready.
But they're not here, but they're like right here in the middle, and they can beat people.
And when you get that young talent, the one thing about young talent,
they're gonna play now.
Eventually, one of the years gonna come where boom, they hit. Mm-hmm. So, like a Florida dude.
Yeah.
They had them young bucks. Then 1 year, boom, they hit.
Yeah, but see, them old Florida teams though was nothing like how these teams are. They had stars like they getting Dontrell Willis and
Miguel
Cabrera. Yeah, and the crazy part about it, Cabrera started out playing with them. He was out in left field, he played third, but sure, he was all over the place. And look at him now; can't even barely run down the field.
That's most time that happens.
Yeah, so I think the Dodgers. What is this? This is like what? They've been to the World Series, 3, maybe 4 times in the last 6 years or something like that, and only won 1 ring. I don't know. Kershaw's broken down. They spend a lot of money just like the Yankees do, but they need to go
invested in the right spots.
Yeah, I think they need to go back to their farm system and see what you got down there. I mean, you got lucky when you had Corey Seager come out of there. You had the boy that played with Jock Peterson. All of them, when you hit with all those players out of your farm system, boom, they put them what they are now. But I still think, Freddie Freeman's going to help them a lot, but on paper they look great.
He gonna help because I look long term. I don't look for just 1 year. He gonna help for about a year or 2, but in year 4 or 5 of his contract, he gonna be a waste.
He gonna be like an Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Indeed, you can't. A left-hand bat, you always need a left-hand bat. And then Dodger Stadium down there, their lines is not really that great either, so they'll be all right.
Adrian Gonzalez, Sean Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, we're going to go to the AL, which is shaping up to be real nice. The first team I'm talking about, the team who made a big splash this morning as we're taping, is the Red Sox. Trevor Story, So, what do you think about them Red Sox? I'll go first with them. Wild card. I think they're gonna be a tough out. Whoever play them in the playoffs gonna have to come with it, or they liable to get blew out. I'm gonna give them a wild card, make a round or 2. But that's it. What you got about the
Red Sox? They should be all right with Trevor Story. That was news to my ears before we started taping. Trevor Story along with Martinez, that should help them a lot. especially playing in Fenway. You know that that green monster. Even though Trevor Story do hit some bombs sometimes too, but I think his home run total will go up a little bit. He's always been great defensively, but Red Sox. They're more like what Dennis Green said they are who we thought they are. I'm never impressed with them. Ever since Big Poppy been left, they're always been whatever. So that's not even the AL East team I'm really worried about. Them or the Yankees. It's always the Tampa Bay is the team to worry about out there.
Speaking of Tampa, they're another team that can't get over the hump, and they seem like they have all the talent in the world. And again, they got all the talent in the world. Mm-hmm. But it's like they don't, like they're another one they missing, like that one superstar to get on their back.
Well, they just locked up a rookie of the year last year, right?
Yeah.
They locked him up nicely, which was surprising because they don't spend money.
Yeah.
And I think, we was talking off camera too. Remember we was talking about teams that we think will, eventually probably move and probably end up in Vegas. Mm-hmm. I can see Tampa Bay doing that.
That'll be a good move. That'll be a good
Yep,
move.
I can see them moving now, but then, they're going to have to redo the divisions, which need to be realigned anyway. But, I think that'll be perfect for them. Spend a little bit of money.
You know what? With Tampa, I'm agree with you. But we're going to move right along. I got a question for you before we go back into the team. Mike Trout, which is probably my favorite player right now. Do you think Mike Trout should ask for a trade from the Angels? Or should he stay in pat because they look like, again, they trying to build something? Or do you think he should ask for a trade because it seems like he's just wasting all his good years?
He should have been asked for a trade 3 years ago. For one, he's moving from center field to probably left because it's going to get him on the field more and it's less field he has to cover. So that'll help him out. Two, he should have been gone. I know they paid him some money to stay. I know he want to be loyal, but let's face it, get out of there. The Angels are not doing nothing. They're not going nowhere. They've tried. Only crazy part about it, they always stay afloat too. So I think Trout needs to, as long as he don't go to the Yankees or the Red Sox, I'm cool with that. But I even don't want to even see him go to his AL West foe in Texas. I don't even want to see him down there either. I would love to see him with the White Sox. That'll be a dream come true.
See, take a hold of that.
Man, but we know that's not going to happen because they ain't going to spend that money for him. But he might end up being in the NL. Oh, you know what? A good team, Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle's up and coming. They got a lot of good young players. I think that'll work for them, but he's been, his 10th year in the league? And he's only been to the playoffs, once maybe? Twice, I think? And so I feel bad for Mike Trout. And I like Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a stand-up dude, man. He's a very good player.
It's always one that has happened to.
Yeah, I mean, and the bad part about it, I think he'd end up having that Frank Thomas thing happen to him where the Sox were trash for so long and then they hit gold in 05 and, it just came all together. And that same thing might happen with them. I mean, look what happened to them when they won back in 02. So, I think that, we'll see with them because I don't really.
I got you.
I don't really know.
You know what? We're going to wrap this one up about both our favorite teams, the White Sox. I'm going to say it first. First, breaking news, I'm expecting World Series. I don't expect nothing less. Anything less than that, I'm going to be disappointed. I think they line up is deadly. I'm liking the pitching. They're getting a couple relief pitches. I'm a fan of Kopech. I know a lot of people not. I'm a fan of them. I think I'm expecting World Series because I'm expecting that offense to be thumpers. I'm expecting them to make a move with that bum, Craig Crumble and all that crap. They never should have got him. They can trade him to the Dodgers and get one of them bats off the Dodgers. Get their right fielder or something. I'll take that. But I don't expect nothing but the and it's a people gonna say favoritism. It sure is, cause it's my show, so it sure is. I'm picking the White Sox, and I'm picking them to win the World Series. What you got, Ralph?
I would love to say I want them to win. I would love for them to win the World Series, but I think they are one more year away. My biggest problem with them is starting pitching. I'm not the biggest fan of Kopech like you are. Like, I don't think he's gonna be a starter yet. He ain't really showed that he can pitch past 5 innings yet either. So I think him being a middle reliever is probably, or a long relief, probably his best bet at the moment still. But the one pitcher I really love that they have is Crockett. Crockett, I really like him. Yeah, except you don't have that weird delivery, but I like Crockett. He throw the ball hard. He kind of remind me of Aroldis Chapman, except he got a little bit more control. So I like him a lot. I like also the young boy that they got that's supposed to be like the Dominican Otani and all, but he's not going to pitch.
Right.
He's not going to pitch for us. And also, to be honest, looking at their farm system, they really don't need to go get a right fielder because you got Cespedes' younger brother coming up who can play, and the young boy who really barely played, who played last year. He was a rookie. Can't think of his kid's name. He played everywhere last year. He played the infield for a while. I call him Lil Jim Tomey, but I can't think of his name. Him, and then I like the other young boy they got with the Gavin Sheets, the lefty. And I think if he gets a little bit more playing time, that bat is gonna show. But at the same time, they gotta stay healthy. Robert gotta play smarter. I need him to play like he did when he won the Gold Glove in 2020. I definitely need Jimenez to do nothing stupid in the outfield.
I need him to stop gang banging.
That too. Well, no, you know what? I actually like how he has his hat cocked. He reminds me of CC. CC Sabathia.
He got gold chain.
I love it. I actually love it. But he got to stop doing stupid things in the outfield. Like, dude, they paid you to be a big bat. They're not paying you for your defense. Let's be smart out here. Go out there, hit 40 home runs, drive in 100 plus. Abreu gonna give you what he gonna give you every year. He's been the most consistent player in the league for the last 8-9 years. Tim Anderson start off hot, brother. But the one player,
I like him.
The one player that I think his time is running short on the south side is Moncada. I think this year,
much as I like him,
if he don't get it together this year, I think he's going to be on the trade market, and that's
get that hitting going.
Yes,
because he got all the talent.
He got the tools. He can play defense. He can play the whole left side of the field, and he might end up having to move over to second base eventually if they get a good infield. Even though they got Josh Harrison now just for this year, basically, but they end up getting a young boy like when they had Madrigal before they traded him. So we'll see, but I think they got the tools offensively. It's the pitching staff. You let go of Rodon, who was trash anyway. I've never been really a fan of Rodon. What's my man? You got the older cat. Man, I can't think of none of their names. You got the I can't even think of the ace name. The ace. Lynn. You got Lynn. You got Lynn, who's really probably the most solid pitcher we got. And then you got everybody's favorite bum loser and all that, which is supposedly the ace of the staff that we ain't had for years and just whatever with him. But I think their biggest thing is they have one of the best bullpens in the majors, in my opinion. Also, you have one of the best clothes. I love Hendricks. That dude, the way he pitches. I mean, sometimes he get a little bit wild, but I like the ferocity he brings to the game. But for the most part, I think if they win a playoff series this year, maybe 2, or if they at least make it to, the ALCS, I think they'll definitely the year after next year, they'll probably be ready to go for World Series. It's just all about the pitcher. Or if they make a good pitcher move this year.
That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Rick Hahn to make some type of move to get pitching help. So I'm banking on that to give them that extra push for the World Series. So we're going to make our prediction to close out this show on who you think going to go to the World Series. I'm predicting White Sox Dodgers. I want that. I need that. I'm predicting White Sox Dodgers. I'm predicting my Sox in an exciting 7-game series. So White Sox Dodgers winning 7 games. I'm gonna throw it all up in y'all face when they win. And I'm gonna say I told you in spring training that they was gonna win. What you got, Ralph?
You know what? I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna go with the White Sox too to make it out of the AL. But this was the matchup I wanted to see last year. I wanted to see the Padres versus the Sox, only because the Fernando Tatis trade. That's the only reason I really want to see that, and I still would love to see it this year. Padres get it together, so So the White Sox will come out there and beat y'all a couple games, and y'all come here and we win it on our own home field. So I go White Sox, Padres once they get together. I don't think the Dodgers are gonna do it, but they've been there, so you never know. But I'd love to see the White Sox Padres World Series with the Sox topping them.
Okay, I'm going to do a couple awards real quick. We'll do MVP and Cy Young. MVP. I'm a homer this year, and I ain't even like that. I got two choices. The only two choices I think. I got Mike Trout coming back from injury, feeling like he got something to prove. I got Mike Trout, and I got Robert from the White Sox. I think young boy got all the tools to contend for the MVP. So I'm going with them two. Then Cy Young in the American League. You know what? I want to really go homer, but I ain't nobody on the Sox. You know what? Skip that. This is my show. This is the know-it-all. I don't even care. You know, make your comments on what you think. I'm going Fat Man Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn. I'm going to go with Lance Lynn. Because I think my Sox going really, I think they're going to do a sweep on everything this year. So I'm going to go Lance Lynn. I'm going to go Robert for MVP. My Sox gonna win the World Series. Skip it. I don't care. All you can do is laugh at me later, but whatever. Go ahead, Ralph. Who you got, man?
Interesting. I almost want to say that you might have been in the bottle this morning.
And I don't drink.
You don't even drink, so. Oh wow. MVP. Trout always gonna be there. I think the writers are getting tired of him being there and not winning really. So I'm gonna get away from Trout. I'm going to say J.D. Martinez, Boston. I think he always there. He always hitting 29, 30-some home runs. He always put Boston in the mix. I don't care about nobody from the Yankees, because I don't. I got another guy. I'm trying to think. I can't think of his name. Yeah. So I will try to get that little short man, Altuve, his credit, but... You know, the Astros cheated, so I don't care. So,
no.
But you know who I do like? I like Correa. Even though he signed with Minnesota, I like Correa. If depending on how Minnesota do, he could be in a race too. But I'm gonna stick with J.D. Martinez for the AL MVP. Now, Cy Young in the AL, man, that's tough. Sad to say, I know this is contradicting too. I have to stick with the Yankees ace. What's it? I can't even think of that boy's name. I would stick with the Yankees ace. Okay. Hey, give it to him.
Garrett Cole?
Garrett Cole, yeah. Garrett Cole, yeah. Okay. I go with him. He's probably one of the more solid AL pitchers. And then let's see, what's the MVP? Cy Young, and then
you can go to the NL because we didn't talk NL.
Yeah, NL. Now NL is gonna be interesting. You got a lot of good players in the NL.
Hold on. I just thought of something. AL, my dark horse MVP candidate will be Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Oh, I forgot all about them Toronto teams. Oh my
Vlad
God.
He gonna be my dark horse.
You know what? I'm gonna say he gonna win the home run derby this year too, and because somebody snatched it from me last year.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to Vlad for the home run. Give him the home run derby champion this year. Ooh, they got a squad up there too. Cy Young, I'm a stick with my boy that just went to the Mets. I'm gonna stick with him as a Cy Young.
Scherzer.
Matt Scherzer. I think Scherzer is tough to hit, man, and they've had Cy Young candidates every year up there with Syndergaard and all them. So I'm gonna go with Scherzer NL MVP. Man, you put up in the hat. You put Freddie Freeman in there. You put Mookie Betts. You can Chris Bryant, even though the Colorado Rockies probably gonna win 40 games. I don't really know for the NL. That's a tough one for the NL MVP.
Well, I'm a.
Oh, you know what? I got it.
Who you got?
I'm gonna throw Bryce Harper out there. Give my boy Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Let him come back, bounce back. I'm gonna give Bryce Harper. Yeah, that's my boy right there. I give Bryce Harper.
I'm gonna go with his best friend. I'm gonna go with Chris Bryant because I believe Chris Bryant gonna put up some old Paul Bunyan numbers in Colorado, and I'm gonna give y'all breaking news on this and a good prediction. My NL Cy Young, you mentioned him earlier. I'm going with Noah Syndergaard from the Mets because he's going to opt out for free agency after the year. Mm-hmm. Then I'm predicting he's going to the White Sox as a free agent, and we're going to get our ace, so we can go and be a dynasty. So
you got to come down on that price first.
All that first. I'm thinking Ransdorf, he always spend money one time, so I think he's going to spend that money on Syndergaard. So I'm going with Syndergaard because he want to improve his stock for Cy Young. I'm going with Chris Bryant for MVP. So on that note, we got another show that we completed. This is Jimmy the Know It All. I want to thank everybody. Check us out, YouTube. Check our page, like our page, subscribe to our page. You can catch all our other shows. That Scottie Pippen overrated or underrated. You always can catch that show. You can catch our just how we get down. You know what I'm saying? Before we end every show, I always do Love 1030. Once again, I'm a name drop. The Spades tournament, April 10th. We giving out L's. I take Spades serious. I talk trash and everything I do. I don't think it's just a show. I'm talking in spades. So I give L's. So once again, Ed, Will, I'm calling you out. You told me you wanted to get in the tournament, but you ain't signed up yet. So I know you're going to tell me, oh man, I forgot. But I think it's something called scared. And I don't want to think my boy's scared, but I think you are. So I'm calling y'all out. On behalf of Ralph, thanks for coming on the show again, big fella. On behalf of Angry Man who ain't here, living his bootleg Jackie Robinson dream.
Ray Durham.
This is Talking Sports with the Know It All. We'll talk to you next show.